Hello, you guys. Okay, real fast before jumping into this episode, I just wanted to hop on and give you guys a quick little disclaimer. In today's conversation, we do talk about some heavier topics, including suicide and mental health. These are sensitive topics for you guys in any way. I would just advise you guys to please listen with discretion. It is really such a good conversation that really brings a lot more awareness to these sensitive topics that really just aren't talked about enough. So hopefully if you are struggling with any of these things in any way, this can make you feel a tiny bit less alone. I love you guys so much and I hope you enjoyed the episode. Let's get into it. Hello everybody and welcome back to the It's Cringe But It's True podcast. I'm your host Ellie Olivier and Maisey, welcome to the pod. I'm so happy to have you.
I'm so excited to be here.
Guys, Maisey's the freaking cutest. She got a swig. Look how nice she is. So cute if you're watching. She got us some cute swigs. And we've been following each other on TikTok for like a year now, right?
Over a year now, yeah. Insane.
So we've always been like little internet friends, and this is our first day meeting, and we're already
best friends.
So do you kind of want to introduce a little bit about yourself and like kind of what you do with social media?
Absolutely. So my name's Maisey. I'm 18. I live in Ogden. My social media, I've been posting for about 3 years consistently. I post a lot of different like lifestyle, day in the lives, makeup, clothes, a little bit of that stuff, all the girly stuff.
Yes,
so
she's
fun.
The best. I'm like, we were talking before this, and I'm literally like, oh yeah, that video. I've seen all the videos. I'm like stalked her for so long.
I love it.
And you've been recently posting more. She posts a lot of like vulnerable stuff about like mental health.
Yeah.
And I'm so proud of you for doing that. And I admire you so much because I know how hard that is.
Yeah.
And you're so young. And we were talking a little bit about this off air, but like being so young and being able to share stuff like that that's really vulnerable is really impressive. And you really are just very mature, I can tell. So I'm excited for everyone to hear and for me to hear more of your story and kind of get to know you a little bit better. So let's just start by kind of going back to Maisey, like as a kid. Did you struggle with mental health throughout your life, or was there like a certain age where you feel like it started?
My entire life, as little as I can remember, I've always struggled with like depression, anxiety. I didn't know that's what it was at the time. I just know I always felt super anxious and super sad all the time. So it's something I've had since I was little.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you remember like a time where you first brought it up to someone, or like I feel like sometimes we feel those feelings, but you don't even know what that is. When you're young, you're like, wait, like, why am I feeling like this? I'm not going to talk about it. Like, do you remember where it got to a point where it was, like, debilitating or you had to bring it up?
I think I didn't even bring it up. My parents started to notice it. So from a very young age, I would have, like, these freakouts where I would go crazy and I would hit people. I would cry. I would have, like, these mental breakdowns. And so that's when my parents kind of started to notice as it got worse that I needed to get checked out and see there was clearly something more there.
Where are you in your family? Do you have siblings?
I am the oldest, so I have 3 younger siblings.
And as the oldest, too, it's like your parents' first kid, probably like
and the guinea pig.
Yes, literally the guinea pig. Or I guess every kid is so different, but like for a parent, just like watching your kid being off as their first oldest kid.
Yeah.
And also not having any older siblings to, because mental health is genetic in some ways too.
Absolutely.
You know? So I feel like in some people's families, like their older siblings have struggled, and so the parents were like, oh, well, like now
Here's
it's their turn.
signs.
You know what I mean? So how old were you when you first went in and got help?
When I first got help, I started therapy from a very young age. I was in elementary.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then I think I got tested when I was 9 to see kind of what was wrong with me.
Okay. Did they give you a diagnosis?
Yes. So I got diagnosed with executive functioning disorder. And then I had severe anxiety, severe depression, and anger issues.
Yeah. How was that getting diagnosed? What were those feelings?
Oh, I was all over the place. I was like, it makes sense. It all kind of added up. I was super young, so I didn't really understand what all of that meant at the time. But I immediately like started on medication, therapy, all of that type of stuff.
From such a young age,
Such a young age.
That must have been so tricky to navigate, because I feel like even at an older age, it's still tricky to navigate, and being so young and not understanding. And also I feel like when you're young, like no one talks about that.
No.
Not even really when you're older, but especially when you're young. Like, do you feel like it was like you were kind of like hiding that of yourself, or you didn't want anyone to know?
Oh yeah. I kept all my feelings to myself. I never told anybody what I was feeling ever, because it's almost embarrassing to like tell people, and you don't hear about that at a young age, especially in like elementary and junior high. Nobody talks about that. So it was more embarrassing.
When did you start coming out and like talking about it, and how has that been, even posting on social media and coming on a podcast talking about it? Like, how's that been?
I think everybody kind of found out after they heard that I attempted suicide. A lot of my friends kind of found out. I think everybody was very surprised. It kind of came out of nowhere. But posting on social media, it has been really hard. I think people think it's super easy because I post about it so often, but there is so much hate that comes from me posting on social media. But there's also so many good things, and so that kind of is what keeps me motivated, is just helping people.
And I'm sure you've helped so many people because, like, people seeing that makes them feel less alone because it is such, like, a thing that we don't talk about. Like, no one's posting that, honestly. Like, no one's posting that super, like, those vulnerable things that are, like, scary, but very, very common. So I'm sure you've gotten so much, like, gratitude expressed to you for posting that stuff, which is so amazing. Tell me more about executive functioning disorder and what that is for those who don't know.
Yeah, so I was told at a young age, just to kind of put in simple terms for people that don't understand it, is my frontal lobe, which is the part of your brain that processes information, mine doesn't function properly. So I don't know, I think I was just born with it. It could be inherited from genetics, all of that stuff. But when things get too complicated or chaotic, my frontal lobe goes into either shuts down and it kind of like shuts off. Ultimately, so you could be talking to me, but that part of my brain is not working. So it's like talking to a wall because my brain can't process anything you're saying to me.
Interesting.
So it's super weird. And I kind of am like totally zoned out, or I have a mental breakdown and I go crazy and my brain like gets so overwhelmed that I will like scream and I will say things and I will fight you. And it's the extremes.
Wow. So is it happening like daily or like just when it gets bad, when you get super stressed or anxious in life?
Every single day. I get overwhelmed a lot just because my brain doesn't know how to process that information correctly. So even simple tasks like cleaning my room, if it's like too much clutter on my floor, I get so overwhelmed that I just won't do it. Yeah.
Is that a common diagnosis?
No, I think like 4% of people in the world
because I haven't heard much about that at all.
Nobody ever knows about it. Yeah.
Was it hard, like, switching your identity from someone who hadn't struggled with mental health to getting that diagnosis and being like, wow, this is something that I have, especially at such a young age? How do you feel like that impacted your view of yourself and like your identity?
Oh, it made me feel so bad about myself. I try to pretend like it wasn't there, but it's so hard because it's something that impacts your every single day life. It impacts all my relationships, all my friendships. So it's hard. I mean, I completely lost myself for a very long time.
Yeah, and I want to get more into that. How do you feel like it's impacted even like your friendships? So like when you were young, like did your friends understand what was going on, or were they like, what are you doing, Maisey? Like, why are you, you know?
I think I lost a lot of friends my entire life. I've never really had like a big friend group. I've always been kind of the friend that was like left out, or I just prefer to do things by myself. And so I think a lot of, even now, people don't understand it. So I've lost a lot of friends because people just don't understand. Like, this is something that affects my friendships. It affects my self-esteem. So I think just people kind of understanding that could help a lot.
And some people, it's so sad to say, but some people just don't, unfortunately, have that emotional capacity to handle things like that.
Yeah.
Which it sucks. And it's sad to feel like rejected or like they don't understand that also. Yeah. But like the people that know Maisey and know like you for you, love you so much and realize and understand that it's not something you can control or that you chose.
Right.
But I think your outlook on it and like the way you've used it for such good and being able to post on social media and help so many people come on a podcast and talk about it, like I think that's so amazing. So you were talking a little bit about like losing yourself for a few years. What age range was that from?
That was, so once I got diagnosed when I was little, I think I lost myself probably up until like this year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's been like years. Yeah.
I bet that'd be so hard to
It's so hard. I like tried to pretend I was somebody I wasn't, and it's easier to kind of pretend you don't have this thing wrong with you because you don't have to deal with it. So I've kind of just always pushed that part of me to the side.
Yes, like you feel like you hadn't embraced your diagnosis. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's hard because I feel like it takes a hit at your confidence. You're like, oh shoot, like I have this thing that's like maybe makes you feel unlovable or like people won't accept you for it, but it's really not true at all. But I'm so happy and proud of you that you've gotten to a spot where you're able to feel better about it and kind of come to terms with it. Are you still in therapy right now?
Yes, I'm in therapy every single week.
We love therapy.
We love therapy.
It is literally the best thing ever.
Every single person should have therapy in their life.
I agree.
Yeah.
And it's also kind of a thing that is like touchy to talk about. Like,
It is.
some people, like, have very strong opinions that they hate therapy, and that's
It's
okay.
very true. That's totally fine.
And also, I think it's a very, like, common thing to just associate, like, oh, they're going to therapy, like, something's, like, wrong with them. Like,
Right.
they're, like, not okay right now. Which also, like, we're all not okay.
We're all
right.
right.
It's, like, the fact that people, like, the fact that you're even willing to go to therapy and, like, get the help you need, it, in my opinion, makes you even stronger.
Even stronger.
And not weak. Because I feel like people view it as, like, oh, that's weak. Like,
not at all.
I can just talk. I'll just keep it in.
Yeah.
Push it all down. Push all those feelings down. Or write in my journal. Talk to my friend. But, like, especially, like, going to someone who's professionally trained in the brain to understand exactly what's happening in your brain.
Right.
And my therapist is the same with me, right? Like, to know exactly what's happening in Ellie's brain to actually help me. It's been so helpful. Have you been on medication throughout your life as well?
Yes. So I was on medication for about 3 years, and that's what I ended up overdosing on when I tried to commit suicide, was my medication I was prescribed. And then after that, I got taken off of it. And then I got put back on medication the start of this year.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Was medication hard for you, like, getting that and feeling like you had to take it and not wanting to take it?
Yeah, so when I was little, it made me so much worse because I didn't take it consistently. So I was supposed to take it every single night, and I wouldn't. My mom would, like, have to watch me take it, and I'd put it underneath my tongue or in the side of my cheek, and as soon as she turned around, I'd spit it out. Or then some days I would take it. So it made me kind of spiral more than it did any good. But this year, now being on medication and knowing, like, the importance of, like, you need to take it every single day for it to truly work, it has worked so well for me.
And I think and I talk about this all the time too on the pod, but I think medication is also hard because it's like, oh no, like, I have to take this thing and I want to be okay without it.
Right.
But I think and I've had to realize this too with my life, but it's like you have to realize, like, nothing's wrong with you. Like, it's just like your brain is sick in a way and it needs help. And, like, you would do that if any other part of your body was sick as well.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, it's really not that deep, and it's just like it's just like you have to do it. But I think, like, we're so lucky that we have modern medication, that we have that able to, like, help us. Okay, so now let's walk through a little bit more about your suicide attempt and what led up to that point. How long were you feeling that way, and kind of the aftermath of that, if you want to speak on that a little bit.
Absolutely. I'm, like, super open about it. So I struggled mentally, obviously, my entire life. And I tried to tell myself it wasn't as bad as it really was. Because I had friends, you know, I had family members, but I was really struggling more than, like, anybody really realized. So in probably the start of the summer, like May, June, I started cutting myself. So it started with cutting, and then ultimately just I was so overwhelmed, and I had, like, no other kind of escape besides to try to commit suicide. And so I felt like that was all I really had left to do. And so I was really sad one day, and I got into a fight with my parents, and I decided, you know, I have medication, let's go dump out the whole bottle and let's take all of them.
Oh, I'm gonna cry.
Stop, you're gonna make me cry.
Getting to that point is so hard, and even looking back, how has that been? Like, do you feel such gratitude for yourself, even the fact that you're still here?
Oh yeah, it's a miracle that I'm alive right now. I mean, my birthday's on Monday, and I'm like, I made it to my 19th birthday. Like, I never thought, 13-year-old me never thought I would make it to see another day. And, you know, it sucks because I didn't want to. Like, my goal that day was to fall asleep and never wake up. And so I feel so much gratitude. Like, I've met so many people and had so many experiences in my life that I'm like, I would have never experienced if I was successful.
Yeah. And it's such a hard thing to navigate. Thank you so much for sharing that, because it is just so unfortunately common.
All the time.
It is so common. It's insane. And it's growing rapidly how common that is. And the fact that you were able to make it through that, and you're here today, and you're getting to your 19th birthday, like, that makes me emotional. That is so amazing, and I'm so proud of you. And also just how strong you've become since then. And again, just your ability to share things like this with the world and help people who are also going through that.
Yeah.
Did your parents know about your attempt right as it was happening, or what was, like, the stopping point for you?
Yeah, so I didn't know my parents to find out. That was, like, a big no for me. I actually texted one of my best friends at the time, and I was like, goodbye, pretty much. I was like, this is it. I took pills, and I'm saying bye, like this is it, this is the end of our friendship. And he actually knew one of the girls that lived in my neighborhood and texted her and was like, you need to go over to her house. So all my friends in my neighborhood came over and they told my parents.
And that is like, it's probably so hard too, to like have everyone know. And you kind of, was it like a shame feeling that you felt of like, oh wow, like why am I doing this, or like, and I think it's a thing people who haven't felt that feeling don't understand.
They don't understand.
Because I mean, we've all heard when people say like people like committing suicide is selfish,
All the
which it's not.
No.
And to that person, it's their only out. That's all that they have left.
Yeah.
Right. Like they can't eat. Like your brain is so mentally ill at that point that you're not cognizant of making a selfish. Like it's not like that.
You literally convince yourself that you are doing everybody a favor.
Yes, and that the world would be better off without you.
Yeah.
Which is so not true.
Yeah.
How was it when everyone came in? Were you immediately snapped back into reality, or still kind of?
I think I snapped back into reality. I was like, oh my gosh, like the magnitude of what I did. They came over and they actually looked up like side effects of me taking my medication. And it was like seizures, disability, death, all these things. And I think I realized then like it's not as easy as like you just go to bed and don't wake up. It's if you live, you have these side effects that could affect you for the rest of your life. So I think it finally hit me then like the magnitude of what I really did.
And then from there, you were rushed to the hospital?
Yeah, so my parents put me in the car and we went to the ER immediately. And then I got my blood pumped. Wow. Blood pumped there. And I got IVs. I got my blood drawn. I nurses everywhere. And then I got transported via ambulance to the Timpanogos Hospital.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you feeling super out of it?
Super out of it. Yeah. Wow. I was like sleepy. I was drowsy, dizzy.
Were you feeling like numb?
Yeah.
What was the emotion?
Yeah, completely numb.
Oh my gosh. How long were you there?
I was in the hospital for, I believe, 4 days.
Okay. People visiting you and stuff?
People did not visit.
They weren't allowed to?
My dad told family not to like reach out or visit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
I
just
actually
hard.
I was thinking that a little bit too. It's not
Yeah.
like you broke your leg. It's also like, it's very touchy.
Very touchy.
And it's, for someone to come in and visit, it's like, what do you say? Don't say the wrong thing. Don't trigger them again. Or like, you know what I mean? That's a very like, ooh, don't say the wrong thing kind of.
Right. Yeah.
And also like, did you kind of snap back to like, oh wow, I am so loved? Or were those thoughts of like, I'd be better off if I weren't here still lingering?
The thoughts kind of were still lingering for me. They wanted to admit me to a mental hospital afterwards, but I was so against that. I was like, no, because there's a stigma around that. Like, if you go to a mental hospital, you are crazy. And I didn't want to accept that. So I was lucky enough to, like, both my parents were there and my grandma came to the hospital. So I had, like, a really good support system. But towards the end of my stay at the hospital, I think I kind of snapped back to reality of, like, I am so loved. And you kind of overlook those people that are closest to you. I mean, you don't think, like, oh, my parents love me or stuff like that. You just think, okay, I don't have that many friends. Like, I'm so worthless and stuff. But those people closest to you, I think it showed me that day that they really do love me.
Yes. And you really, it's like you are dissociating. Like, you're like,
You do.
from reality. Like, you just don't even see someone right in front of you. Even if someone was right in front of you saying, like, I love you, I want you to stay here, like, you are loved, you deserve to be here. Like, it's like you're, like, numb and you just can't even see it at all.
Right.
And getting, like, that far to the point where people do that is so heartbreaking. But it's so common.
It's so common.
And it's something that a lot of people don't understand or nobody really talks about it.
Nobody talks about it.
Because it's way too hard for people to, like, it's touchy.
Even it's a very touchy subject.
You don't know how to approach it, how to ask someone about it, how to, like, do you congratulate them for not? Like,
right.
What do you say?
Do you do?
Yeah, like, what's right? How long do you feel like it took you to snap back into, like, real life, like, back to school and everything?
It took me a while. So when I did it, it was in July. So, like, no school was happening. So that was also super nice because I didn't want that going around the school.
Oh, yeah.
But I got out of the hospital and I went home and all my friends were there. They, like, brought me balloons and cards and treats. It was so sweet. And I got home from the hospital and I went straight to Flaming Gorge. I left on a family trip. Yeah.
That might be good, though.
It was
being
good.
With the family.
Yeah. And so everybody came up to me and gave me hugs and was like, I felt so loved that whole weekend.
Good.
So that really helped me.
Did you feel any sense of like shame or embarrassment when people, or just more feeling like loved?
There was a lot of shame for a very long time.
You shouldn't feel that way because it's not your fault.
It's not my fault.
But it comes with it, right?
It
like
comes
it's
with
a
it.
common thing.
Yeah. I felt so ashamed. And so I think I like mentally disassociated for it for a really long time. Like I didn't talk about my suicide attempt for years.
How did you feel about everyone finding out? Were you like, don't tell anyone?
Yeah.
Or was it kind of out of your hands?
It was kind of out of my hands at that point. Like things spread so fast. I live in a very small community where something happens, everybody's going to know about it fairly quickly.
Do you feel like people started treating you differently after they found out?
I think so, yeah. And not necessarily like a bad way. I got invited to a lot more things, and people checked up on me for a really long time. So that was like one thing out of it, that people handled it really well. But I also think some people did look down on me and think like, you're weak or you're selfish for doing this.
Which they just don't understand.
They don't understand.
And then how do you feel like your view of yourself changed after going through that and realizing, wow, I'm still here?
That day changed my life forever. Before that, I was so ungrateful and I took so many things for granted. And so after that, I'm like, every single day is a miracle that I'm here. But it's hard not to like look down on yourself and be like, I am so weak, because there is this stigma around that. And people tell you all these things and you see things on social media. And so it's hard to not also feel bad about yourself. I mean, after I got out of the hospital, I fell into a really bad eating disorder. Just because in the hospital food is so gross. And so that like really made my mental health bad. I still struggled a lot with like cutting myself. So it was hard. It was hard for a really long time. I think I looked down on myself a lot.
And the healing process isn't linear, right?
No.
Like I think it's like in movies or inspirational people that have gone through stuff, it's like they went through something and then like bam, they're up and they're just like happy for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
Like that's not real life.
No.
Like it's not linear, and it's gonna be a roller coaster of emotions and ups and downs and for the rest of our lives, which sucks.
It sucks.
But thank you for even saying that. Like, obviously I would have loved for you to never have those feelings again, but it's not human. Like
it's not just human. It's not realistic.
It's gonna happen.
Absolutely.
And I think, do you feel like your eating disorder was kind of another like outlet for you to, because it is like that is directly related to mental health, right?
Yeah.
I've got some episodes about eating disorders and how that does play in with your mental health, and
it does.
Is an outlet, and some like in a way it is self-harm.
It is.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And that's why it's so common, especially like as women, when you're like feeling negatively towards yourself, that's something that's like you can control, it feels like.
Yeah.
How long do you feel like that was a huge struggle for you?
For a while after, I ended up dating somebody, and that person helped me a lot with my eating. But ever since that hospital stay, I've struggled with an eating disorder ever since. My relationship with food is so up and down all the time. I think social media makes that hard too.
Yeah. In what ways do you feel like?
I feel like just seeing like now the body standard all over social media, that's so unrealistic. It's hard not to compare yourself. And I feel like you have to look a certain way to like be on social media, and it is hard.
And it's so crazy too, because like I was telling Maisey this, I remember you posted something about like body image and stuff.
Yeah.
And like I literally remember watching it and like, what? Like I would have like in my vision of you, like my perception of you was like this beautiful girl who like is perfect in my eyes. So like when you said that, I was like, oh my gosh, like we're all struggling in some ways. Like every female struggles with their body image in some way. You know what I mean? And it's so gnarly, because you literally like you see all these like stick skinny girls, or maybe you want more muscles or bigger butt, bigger boobs, whatever. Like you're just chasing this unrealistic expectation of what you could look like, and it's not possible.
No.
And it's also just the hardest thing to switch off and be like, you know what?
It is so
I
hard.
love myself. Like, try to love yourself, but obviously we all have insecurities. Or like I feel like with like my period, like there'll be times when I'm like kind of starting, I'm just like, I hate what I look like right now. Yeah.
Literally.
But it just goes to show like you never know what someone's going through. And even I've been thinking this through your whole story, like everything you've shared, like before I found out about like your story and everything you've been
Yeah.
through, I would have had no idea,
No idea.
that a beautiful, cute little Maisey had struggled that much in so many different ways.
Yeah.
And even like you were saying earlier, like the fact that, you know, your friends were like, or people were reaching out to you more, like inviting you more once they knew. It's like, well, how many people out there that you don't know are going through that and struggling? And like, I'm sure you live by this too, but I feel like it's always like I literally will die on the hill of like, treat everyone with kindness, because you never know.
You never know.
You never know who is contemplating committing suicide tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Do you think anyone in your life knew, like before your attempt, that that was like a possibility or gonna happen?
No, not a single person. I always like had thoughts here and there, but like the cutting always did it for me.
Yeah.
And it was so impulsive. It was like, I didn't even know I was doing it until I was putting those pills in my mouth.
How do you feel like you navigate dating now and like throughout your life? Like telling a boyfriend or whoever about this, how's that been?
It's hard. It's something that is very vulnerable for me. It's funny. People always tell me, like, I always talk about it with a smile on my face, and I always like laugh and joke about it, but it is like a very vulnerable and sensitive thing. Mm-hmm. And so it's always like a weird conversation. Like, how do you even bring that up to someone? Like, just so you know, I tried to commit suicide. Mm-hmm. So I keep that very much to myself until somebody like gets me to that point and we're having a deep conversation. But it's hard. I mean, there's always going to be judgment out there, and boys, I don't think that like at this age they're not emotionally mature to like understand the depth and like how sad and like deep it really is.
And with dating, I feel like it adds a whole other element.
It does.
Where it's different from like friendships, because it's like, you know, let's say you're dating someone and you tell them about this. It's also like potentially maybe one day this could be your husband. Yeah. And it's also like, so this affects you or even just your boyfriend.
Yeah.
Like if something like it kind of is something that they have to consider and understand and realize if they have the emotional capacity to deal with that.
It's very true.
And you were just saying, like, you always say with a smile on your face, and that's totally how I view you too. I feel like you're a very bubbly, happy girl. And in my opinion, it just makes you so much stronger.
Yeah.
That you've gone through all these things and are still here to have a smile on your face and talk about it so eloquently and speak to these people who are probably struggling with this right now.
Right now.
And do you feel like it's been hard with your perception of yourself, knowing this, you're this bubbly, happy, positive Maisey who also has really struggled and still maybe struggles sometimes?
Yeah, that's hard. It's hard for me. I think a lot of people think, because I am super bubbly, I'm super out there and stuff, but I think once people get me on a deeper level, it's a very emotional topic, but I'm very open about it, because it's like, why would I not, like, I'm still here for a reason, you know, and why not share my story and hopefully help people. I actually had a friend who, she committed suicide in 7th grade on New Year's, and that was really hard to navigate. I actually found out through social media. Sorry, I just kicked you. And that was really hard to navigate because nobody knew. Like, it was a shock to us. And so I'm like, that has given me just so much purpose in life to, like, share my story, because I don't want that to be somebody that we have no idea what they're going through. And I don't want people to take their lives. Like, it's not an escape.
Yeah.
And it hurts so many people.
That is such a young age to deal with that with your close friend. How was that for you with your mental health?
I struggled with it for a long time. And still now, like, around her birthday and New Year's is always a hard time of year.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
And yeah, just being able to use her story to kind of light a fire under you of like, it's like a wake-up call. I have a lot of people in my life who I know if that's happened to them or and it is like, oh wow, life is so fragile and so you have no idea ever what people are going through or almost about to do.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit more about dating now too. Like, do you feel like it causes any insecurities in a relationship because you feel like there's this dark part of you or hard parts of you that are going to be hard for someone to deal with, especially with your diagnosis? Like, how has that been for you?
It has been hard just because I deal with so much insecurity within myself that I seek that from other people. So with like a boyfriend or friend or any sort of relationship, I'm constantly like codependent and seeking validation from that person because I'm so insecure within myself. So it's definitely a mental struggle.
Great self-awareness, though.
Yeah.
You know? People aren't that self-aware to realize that, so good job.
Thank you.
And do you feel like you felt yourself mature a lot through going through this really hard thing? And even now, like, you sitting here only being 18 years old.
Yeah.
And talking about this, like, do you feel like it changed who you were?
100% did. I look back on myself and I'm like, wow, I've definitely matured. I mean, I was still 13. I'm still so immature and I have so much learning to do. But that situation, it makes you grow up from a very young age.
Yeah. Do you feel like you've always been a person who, like, shoves your emotions down, or you, like, a verbal processor, like, you have to talk it all out?
Before my suicide attempt, I was somebody who just put it down and I did not tell anybody. But that's what got me to the point of, like, wanting to commit suicide. Was it's so isolating and it makes you go crazy until finally you just, like, get so overwhelmed with all these emotions you've kept down that you need an escape from that. So now I feel like I wear my emotions on my sleeve. Everybody always knows how I'm feeling, sad, happy, whatever. I'm very open about how I feel.
Which I feel like is such an amazing thing, too, you know?
It has its pros and cons.
Yeah. And yeah, like we were saying earlier, I feel like healing isn't a linear process.
No.
And people think it is.
Yeah.
How do you feel like that's affected you? Like, do you still struggle, or how does life look today?
Today, oh my goodness, this year has been probably the hardest year I've ever had to go through. I've had a lot of really big trials in my life this year, that I've honestly, I think a lot of people think because I post on social media, like, all this happy content that I'm all better. That is not the case at all. I still am in therapy, you know, I was on medication, but this year I think I've been more suicidal this year than I have been my entire life.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
I think just the things that I've had to go through. I mean, I've gone through breakups, I've gone through relationship ending, friendships ending, just so many hard things that it gets so overwhelming and so alone. And it's also hard because I want to keep this happy content coming, you know, on social media, but that's not like the reality of my life.
And it's so real and vulnerable, like, honest for you to say that, because that's real life.
Yeah.
Social media, and we were saying this before recording, but it's not real life. Social media isn't real.
No.
It's curated, and no one is happy, like, excited, bubbly
No.
all the time. It's just not attainable. It's not realistic.
Right.
And I think it's good to even allow yourself to, like, have hard days and, like, sulk for a second, you know what I mean? Feel the emotions, acknowledge that you're not doing okay, and, like, go easy on yourself. You don't need to be all better, and you don't need to be 100% healed, because that's not possible.
No,
ever.
it's not.
You know what I mean? The rest of your life, you're gonna have high moments and low moments, but
absolutely,
throughout your life. I feel like you've spoke a little bit about, like, your faith and, like, your relationship with God. Do you feel like through this experience it has strengthened that relationship, or, like, weakened it?
Strengthened 100%. This year I've completely changed my life over to God, and it has changed my life.
That's amazing.
It has changed my life.
And I think sometimes, and I want to know what you think on this, like, I feel like when you're in it, a hard moment, it's really easy to be like, what's going on, God?
Yeah,
what are we
100%,
doing?
yep.
Why me?
Yeah.
What did I do? Why do I deserve this? And, like, years later, kind of looking at it like bird's eye view, being like, okay, that had to happen. I'm a big believer in happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason.
Yes, 100%.
And, like, maybe, like, thinking if that hadn't happened, you wouldn't be the person you are right now, sitting in this chair.
It's so true.
Is that, like, kind of your belief with that? Like, everything happens for a reason?
Everything happens for a reason. I mean, I know when my friend committed suicide and when I tried to commit suicide and stuff, it was so easy to hate God. I fell away from the church for years. But, you know, as I've put, like, more effort towards my faith, I have noticed, like, it has made things so much easier. I actually got my patriarchal blessing in December. I feel so strong to share this. And in my patriarchal blessing, it said that Heavenly Father would keep me out of harm's way and keep me safe. And when I heard that, I immediately thought of my suicide attempt. Wow, it gets me so emotional. because this person that was giving me my patriarchal blessing, like, knew nothing of my story. And it was so, I think that's when I really started hating God. And so just to, like, hear that and, like, look back on the moment of, like, it really is a miracle I'm here. I just know he was always with me and, like, watching over me.
Oh, that literally is making me emotional thinking about that, because it's so true. Like,
Yeah.
getting that and, like, having that confirmed to you of, like, wow, he really is going to watch out for me.
Yeah.
And he knows you so well, and
So
God knows
well.
exactly what you've been through.
Yeah.
And is going to protect you and be there for you every step of the way, even when it gets hard again, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's such a beautiful thing. And yeah, for people listening who don't believe in God, whatever you do believe in.
Whatever you believe in.
But for me and you, for sure, I feel like it's been such a lifeline, like, guideline, especially with mental health struggles.
Yes.
Which feel like they're not related to, like, religion and God. But
Right.
for me, it's like the most testimony building moments in my life have been my mental health struggles.
100%.
And that's made me turn to God, for sure,
Yes.
for sure. Okay, if, like, little 13-year-old Maisey could see you today, what do you think she would say?
Oh my gosh. I would be so shocked. I just know I'd be so proud of myself. I have completed all the things I said I would. I never thought I'd make it through high school. I never thought I would work a full-time job. I didn't think I would post on social media. I would be so proud of, like, where I've gotten to.
You should be.
Yeah.
It's so amazing. I'm so proud of you. What about this year do you feel like has really been the turning point? Like, why now? What do you think it's been?
I think, honestly, turning my life to God.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I always felt, because I didn't necessarily hate God, but I didn't really believe. And I hated the church. It was, like, shoved down my throat growing up. And so I always felt like something was missing in my life. And now that I've turned my life over, I feel so great. And I feel like that missing piece I was always searching for in other people or other things finally has been filled.
I'm so happy for you. And I'm so happy that this year's been, like, you can say it's been such a hard year, and also such a amazingly inspiring year. And, like,
inspiring.
you've been, like, on the up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just, like, looking at your attempt and how that's impacted you and how that's, like, created the trajectory of your life to be where you are now is just so amazing. And I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
What is something you would say to someone out there who's struggling with their mental health and feels lost and like they don't have any hope anymore?
I think ask for help. Ask for help, or, I mean, if people aren't religious, I guess this doesn't apply, but pray to whatever you believe in. And just keep pushing. Take it day by day. I think that I was constantly like, oh, I have to make it through this week. Like, no. Like, just take it by the day. Do something every single day that you enjoy, that brings you happiness. Start surrounding yourself with people that make you happy. Start doing things you enjoy. Just try to go out of your comfort zone and try to just make it through the day.
And it's not weak to ask for help.
No,
it
not
feels
at all.
like it is.
Yeah.
And that was a big one for me too. I was like, nope, I'm this happy Ellie. I'm not gonna help. And now it's like I've realized how okay it is, and it's actually not weak. It's strong to go ask for help.
It is.
And
it's hard.
Like, be self-aware and intuitive enough to know that I'm not okay right now and I need help.
Right.
So I love that you said that, because I'm so big on that too, and I feel like that is something that I needed to hear.
Yeah.
And I will need to hear again. So thank you for saying that.
I know. It's so important to ask for help, and if you feel like you don't have anybody, there's always somebody. There's hotlines, there's people around. I mean, tell a stranger if you have to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there will always be somebody.
Totally. Okay, is there anything else that you'd like to say just before we wrap up?
Just to treat people with kindness. Check in on your loved ones. You never know what someone's going through, and a simple text or just hugging someone or telling someone that you love them could change someone's life.
Yes, literally save their life.
Yeah.
And you never know the impact that you can have on people.
You never know.
And just the impact you, Maisey, have had on so many listeners out there. Thank you so much for coming on here and being so vulnerable and open with telling your story. It seriously means the world to me, and I'm sure so many people listening. Where can they follow you if they want to see more? I'm sure you're obsessed with her already, because I love it so much.
Stop. I love you. Yeah, I have Instagram and TikTok. I think it's just my name, Maisey Miller, or Maisey Ray, one of the two.
I'll put it in the show notes so you guys can find it. But, Maisey, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're the freaking best.
You're the cutest.
And she'll definitely be on again. We're already talking about a future episode. And, yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Bye, guys.